Super nice guy. Yes, other questions? If you have already asked a question, then maybe. Yes, right there.
What was it like being part of the Evangelion rebuild?
What was it like being part of the Evangelion rebuild? It was really scary because it's such a big show and everybody loves it so much. And Mari was the first new character in like a million years, so I was pretty terrified because you don't like the worst thing that you could do is like put your heart and soul into something that you know is so important, and then like everyone's like, oh, everything was amazing. That was such a great movie, except for that one girl. What were they thinking? So it was a little nerve-wracking, but once you're in the booth and once you're working, it's just fun, you know? Like, I get to sing and then scream. That was actually my most epic scream ever. I was like 1 decibel away from breaking the microphone, which is basically impossible. Well, not the microphone, the diaphragm in the microphone. So that was amazing. Like, I did the scream, and then like I was like, I like looked out at the director and the engineer, and they were both like, I was like, is it good? Are we good? And they were like, where has this girl been? I was like, I have a lot of rage. Just right here. Just keep it in my tummy. I don't recommend that either. Yes.
Continuing on Evangelion, if you could play any other character in either the rebuild movies or the original series, who would you like to play since you already basically perfected one character?
Oh, that's nice. If I could play any other character, who would I play because I perfected one of the characters? Pingu. Oh, wait. Pen, that's it. Thank you. Pen. Pen? No, wait, is that...
Pen's the penguin.
Pen's the penguin.
Pengu is, I think, that children's claymation show.
Thank you. See, he knows everything. I'm like, wait, no, I think... I don't want to be Shinji. like, oh, my life's so hard. Like, I like him. That's funny. Other questions? Yes, right here.
What is it like when you're there and your other voice actors, like let's say their character dies off and then they're done on the show? What is that like for all of the rest of the cast? Ooh.
What is it like when another character dies off, and how does that affect the actors?
Yeah.
So when you record dubs, you record in a booth by yourself because of the mouth movements. Getting 5 to 10 people all in a booth at the same time in order to record the show. I didn't even like you. Just go. It's fine. I have feelings. So you record by yourself, and when a character dies, like usually you don't actually like see the whole show when you're recording. You only see your scenes. In order to see the whole show, you have to watch it in post or whatever, or after it's released. So usually you don't even know that somebody's died. It's like, oh, like, what happened to that guy? It's like, oh yeah, like 5 episodes ago. It's like, really? Oh, I liked him. It's unfortunate. The worst is when you don't know that you're gonna die.
The day Mikasa dies, I will cry.
Does she die?
No.
I don't know. If she does.
All right, we're gonna put a pin in that. Come back around. Oh my God, do I die? Jeez, I don't know. No, okay, we're just gonna. Powering through. We're powering through. Oh, okay, so right.
Sorry.
I was talking about dying. Yes, so I was actually recording for a show called Ride Back, and I went in and I had no idea that my character died, much less how she died, but she's like, I was watching it for the pre-roll, right? Like I was watching the Japanese version, so we're like watching, and like Terry, the director, didn't tell me anything about it. She's like, oh yeah, you're just happy-go-lucky sidekick girl, it's really fun. I'm like, oh, she's so cute, she has little glasses, I like it. She's decapitated? What is that? I don't want to do this. She's like, well, you don't get to do this anymore. That was the end. Like, that was really, really hard. That was hard. hard. So yeah, that's far more emotional, I suppose. Yes.
Sorry to bring this up and don't start riots, but
Aaron and Mikasa or Jean and Mikasa?
Aaron. Even though I'm Levi, I ship Aaron and Mikasa more than I ship Aaron and Levi.
I'm Aaron or Jean? Aaron or Jean?
Aaron.
Aaron and Levi.
Yeah! No!
That's just me. That's just
No!
me. Okay, everyone be cool.
That is
Deep
my
breaths.
no GP.
Deep breaths, guys. Deep breaths. We're gonna make it through this together. Yes.
Acting is a hard business. I'm just curious, what percentage of voice actors have to work another job on top of that? And then, what are some of the unusual jobs you've had throughout the years outside of voice?
Most actors do work other jobs, whatever jobs those may be. Sometimes you'll work them for a long time, and sometimes you'll work them for like a day. You know, most of those other gigs are usually other acting jobs. My most unusual acting job ever was as a mascot for a cable company. I was the roadrunner at a mall for a day, and kids are mean. Kids are really mean, and the whole thing is that you're suspending belief that you're actually this character, so you can't talk and you can't do anything right. And they have like this little handler that like comes along with you. Like it was actually you have to be a certain height, so it's like me and this other girl, and she's like super pretty, and I'm okay looking, and she's like. She has like perfect hair and perfect whatever, and I was like, okay, well, and so we were going to take turns going in this horrible suit that was really hot, and I live in Texas, so it's super hot, and so like I get in this suit with these like horrible like tights that have like ridges on them, so you can't really walk, you have to kind of waddle, because you like they have these foam ridges on them, and then the body of it is actually like this giant bulbous cavern that's super hot. And then you have, and because of the way it's shaped and the way the head is, like it's a giant long like 5-foot neck with the head at the end, and so like you're in this bulb, and then you can't walk, and your hands are right by your sides, and there are these little holes where you stick your hand out like this, and you grab onto the wing, like the little flappy wing, and so you're like, oh, this is amazing, I love my life. And so the girl's like, why don't you just stay in the suit the whole time, because it's going to mess up my hair. I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing. And so her whole job at this point was no longer to get sweaty or get in the horrible thing or not be able to walk and not be able to move and have to hold on to these really uncomfortable wing things that are really heavy, by the way. Her whole job is to just keep children from hurting me. That's it. So she's super cute, and so like these guys came up, they're like, hey, super cute girl, how's it going? She's like, I am super cute. Nah, like, let's talk about it. I just do. I wouldn't talk about it. And I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing. And this kid came over, and he just started like yanking on my wing, and I'm like, get off of me, kid, get off of me, you know, like, because he can, like, I'm barely holding on to this heavy wing, and he's like, oh, yeah, I know you're a person in there, man, and, like, all these other kids are around, and so you don't want to be like, yes, I'm a person, okay, there's no Santa, get out of my way, but instead you're just like, everything's fine, I'm going to be fine, girl, and she's like, I just really like my hair, and I was like, gosh, so I decide that I have to take matters into my own hands. At this point, so I like flap him, like a little tap. I'm like, get out of here. And so that was the wrong thing to do, because then he's livid, and he like with all of his weird like pseudo like superhuman strength like steals my wing, and that was it for me. I was like, I don't need this job, it is over. And so I was like stupid kid, so like I turned really fast. But the head is really long. Oh, no. I like turn really fast to like yell at him, and it's like, and I'm missing a wing and whatever, so you can see my hand, and like I turn really fast, and like the head goes flying off and hits another kid. And so this little girl's been knocked over by like the head of the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes, and like I have my thing out, and I'm in this like, now you can see that I'm 1, sweaty, 2, really angry, and 3, without a head. And so like I'm standing there like frozen. This little girl's crying with the head on her, and her mother's like, oh my God! and then the other little boy that has the wing is like, and like runs. So it just looks like I'm a jerk. And I was like, what? No, there was this, and then like all these other little kids see me and they start bawling because the Roadrunner is not real. And so it's just like all these kids crying, and then yeah. It was really traumatic to relive. Yeah,
You're a voice actor.
that was the worst gig ever. All the way in the back there. Is there any other voice acting roles that I'm doing in the future? Yes. Are there any that I'm allowed to announce at this juncture? No, because they have signed non-disclosure agreements. But I can tell you that I'm pretty sure that season 2 of Attack on Titan will be out next year. Yay! That's nice. Yes, right there. What's your question? Yeah, you.
Do you have any advice for how to take care of your voice?
Sure. Advice for how to take care of your voice. Well, it depends on what you're doing. But hydrate. Hydrate's really important. Caffeine's horrible, so are Cokes. Dairy is usually pretty like mucusy. It'll produce a lot of mucus. Green apples work like the opposite. So if you're going in for an audition or something like that, green apples are important. I'm all about tongue twisters, as lame as that sounds, but my voice, or my debate coach in high school would be very proud of me. I still remember all of them. Warm-ups are important, vocal warm-ups. And then just staying healthy overall. Being physically fit is rather important because it helps you to regulate your diaphragm and your breathing, and helps your voice in the long run. So, I mean, just basic, like, common sense things that your mom used to tell you. You know, drink a lot of tea, stay away from caffeine and sugar substances, etc., etc. So, I mean, nothing really new. Also, it's when you go into, if you are ever going into an audition, it's really important not to wear constrictive or loud clothing. So you can always tell, like, the new kids when they come in and they're like in heels and like whatever, and like you roll in your pajamas, you're like, what's up? Like, it's awesome. I get to be a grown up and go to work in pajamas. Yes. Have I seen the Attack on Titan live-action movie? I haven't yet. I haven't. The premiere was in LA like 3 months ago, and I wasn't able to go because I was working somewhere else. And Bryce went, and he said it was amazing. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. Yes. Yeah. One more time, babe. What are the tongue twisters that I've done? Some of them, to sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block, is one of them. That one's fun. Obviously not done very well. You know you need unique New York. It's always fun. And the worst. Red leather, yellow leather, as cheesy as that is. And on and on. Oh, McKee. Yes. Mm-hmm.
New York one is so evil.
Yeah, it's part of it. I mean, all of those are things that you learn when you, yeah. I mean, you learn. It is fun. It's a lot of fun, and you learn those sorts of tricks of the trade as you progress down the road of acting. Are there any other questions in the back? I haven't asked it. Yes, with the little glove there. If I hadn't taken up acting, where would I be right now? I would probably, if I hadn't taken up acting, I would probably either be working as a maritime lawyer, which would have probably ended in really horrible tragedies. If I hadn't been an actor, maybe a lawyer, I guess. I don't know, it's all I've ever done, you know, like from the time I was 9 until now. I mean, I was a dancer once, but I hurt myself, so I couldn't dance anymore. I'd be a unicorn. If I was going to be something else. I wouldn't Do you remember that when your mom was like, what do you want to be when you grow up and you're a kid? And you're like, I want to be a kitty. I want to be a unicorn. That'd be dope. Other questions? Yes. So Mike McFarland is a director, yes, and he's also a scriptwriter, and he's also an actor. I think it's just part of it. If you have a desire to direct or if you have a desire to write, then you express that to the proper channels within the Funimation hierarchy, and they're like, oh, okay, give it a shot. And then if you're awesome, then it's great, and if you're not, then you don't work that long. So, yes, so if anyone has a question but has already asked a question, then please keep your hands down just to make sure that everybody that hasn't gets to ask. Yes?
Are you ever do a voice job in any Miyazaki movie?
Have I ever wanted to do a voice job in any of the Miyazaki movies? I have done a voice in a Miyazaki movie. I was Girl B and Gypsy Woman in what is that movie?
Howl's Moving Castle?
No, it wasn't Howl's Moving Castle. It was a really like less known one. Origins. I was in Origins as Woman B and Gypsy Woman or whatever. So yeah, I've been to Sundance, not physically or even technically in the credits, but I was there. So yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to be in a Miyazaki movie? Can I say that? Yes.
Are you friends with any of your coworkers that you've worked with before on voice acting?
Am I friends with any of the people that I've worked with on voice acting? Yes, actually. One of my best friends is Brina Palencia. She's amazing. I'm completely in love with her. And of course, I mean, they're like, if you stalk my social media page, like all of them, like we go to each other's weddings. It's funny because 10 years ago, it's like, oh, remember that one time you tried to throw the trash can through the window of the studio that was also in a bank building? That was hilarious, right? So that was 10 years ago, and now it's like, oh, we'll have your child's second birthday. We're grown-ups. Yeah, no, I'm friends with a lot of them. They're amazing people. I'm very, very lucky to have found something that I love doing, and to have met some of the most important people in my life doing it. It's awesome. I talk a lot, and I found someone to pay me for it. It's weird. Other questions? Questions from people who have not asked yet.
Do you watch other animes that you haven't voice acted for in your free time?
Do I watch other animes that I haven't voice acted for in my free time? Yes. I prefer watching animes that I haven't worked on because it's weird when I hear myself. Like, it always freaks me out a little bit. It freaks my brother out too, which is awesome. He's like, yeah, I was totally watching Attack on Titan and I left the room for a minute and then you started screaming at me and I was like, shut, oh, she's not here. Yeah, I love it. I think it's a really interesting genre. I think it achieves a lot of things that traditional Western animation doesn't, and it can be a vehicle for so many more interesting truths about life and art. Yes?
If you could have any invention from any anime, what would it be?
If I could have any invention from any anime, it would be... Ooh.
Hand gear.
I don't know. I wanted to say omnidirectional gear, but can it be a sloth?
Yes.
Okay, if I could have any invention from any anime, it would be a talking sloth. I don't know why I'm breathing heavily. Like, that's weird. I want a sloth.
Who doesn't want a sloth? That's a
Communists don't want sloths. Yes. Right over there. If I could live in any anime, what world would I live in?
Definitely not Attack on Titan.
Yeah, duh. Nobody wants to live in Attack on Titan. That's a horrible place to live.
If that was real, then
I think I would, if I could live in any anime, it would be Space Dandy.
Yeah.
No, Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop.
Wait, they're in the same universe.
They are the same universe.
One more question.
One more question. Who's, yes, right over there.
Are you a video gamer? If so, favorite video game?
I am not a video gamer. It's not because I don't want to be, it's just that I'm not coordinated enough. Like back in the day, there was something called Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
There were only 4 buttons and one little joysticky pad thing, and that was it. And then when they came out with like the joystick and the arrow pad, and then like 5 new buttons, I was like, what do you, like I can't. So I'm still pretty solid at Mario Kart, but that's it. So thank you so much for coming to my panel, guys. I'll be signing all day. Also, since he's here and he can witness this, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yeah, thanks, guys. Wait, if you're not following me on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, please follow me on Facebook. I'm Trina Nishimura, the official Trina Nishimura, or also the fabulous Trina Nishimura Fab Club. I'm also on Instagram at Trina Nish, and I'm on Twitter at Trina Nishimura. I'm the only Trina Nishimura in the continental United States, so you can find me pretty easily. The other one's a teacher in Hawaii. So thank you so much. Have a really good day.
Questions?